I know what I'm about to say to you, and I know that you're going to go, what? He goes, there's a lot of things people don't tell you about parenting, especially dads. A lot of people keep dads in the dark. Like, first time you hang out and hold your kid by yourself, your dick's going to get hard. Hold on. It gets better. So I didn't know any better, so I just listened to him, and I'm holding my kid going, how come my dick's not getting hard? I want it to get hard. It's not hard. I thought something was wrong with me. And so I told Leanne.
My dick got hard when I held my kids.
I said my only gets hard when I watch other people hold their kids.
And people are still trying to sell women the dream of marriage and having children and having this quote unquote nuclear family that is supposed to be the traditional way that you are supposed to be raising your children under the same roof as the same species that is literally telling one another that when they come into fatherhood, they should be physically responding in a manner that they would be physically responding when it comes to them being sexually attracted to someone, where they would be aroused, and that there would be physical proof of them being aroused. I know I'm in the minority here, but I'm so grateful that men are on these podcasts and that men are picking up these microphones and they are having dialogue with one another in regards to the type of conversations that they're having with other people, other men, other women, because one of the best things about patriarchy is that everything they say gets to be disguised as a joke. And so because everything gets to be disguised as a joke, and because we have the internet and we can easily be able to view things, we know that it's the truth disguised as a joke, because if they were to actually be, crass about what it was that they were saying, obviously you would be deeming these people as, PDFs. You would obviously be looking at these people differently if it was not under the guise of them, quote unquote, joking, them not being serious, them, laughing. Because, the first guy talking about it, he's turning bright red. He is turning bright red in laughter over the fact that he is questioning as to why he did not have a sexual response to his child when he held his child for the first time. And then had the nerve to say, why am I not getting aroused? Why am I not getting aroused, for an infant child? Why am I not responding in that way? And then it really goes to show you the level of submissiveness that men have for other men, even if it means that it is illegal, even if it means that it is not appropriate, even when it means that it is harmful to other people. Because the fact that this man actually questioned whether something was wrong with him because he does not share the experience that another man had, knowing that that experience would be detrimental to your child, and that obviously would have implications on how you see your child in the future. And he's over here questioning whether something is wrong with him because he's not getting a hard on for the first time of him holding his child. And then the fact that the other man that he is on the podcast with, it openly admits the fact that he had an arousal when he held his child for the first time, for everyone to see, for everyone to listen to. And the worst part about it is that these conversations, this isn't even touching the surface of the conversations that these men are having when the cameras are not rolling and the microphones are not on. That's the worst part about all of this. You think this is bad? Imagine what it is that they are saying behind closed doors when they know that it's not going to get repeated and it's not getting publicized or recorded in any way. Could you imagine? And then you wonder why your husband or your boyfriend is hearing about the Epstein files and he has no response to anything. He is like, well, that he's indifferent. He doesn't care. because a lot of these men really do share that commonality amongst what they have heard and read about what was going on that island. Because if they had the opportunity to be able to do it, they would be doing it. A lot of these men have dreams of doing those things. A lot of them really do wish to seek that type of dynamic with a child, even if it is with their own child. If push come to shove, they really do seek these opportunities out, which is why a lot of women cannot fathom the fact of, why are you hearing about this? Why are you reading about this? And you just seem to just not care. You just seem to not be moved or bothered or anything by hearing about these horrible things. And it's getting done to the most oppressed group, to the group of people that literally need to rely on adults for their survival. And they're telling you this is the experience that they're longing for when they have a child. And there are women out here who watch these videos, and they will literally sit here and say, they don't mean that. They're just joking. He doesn't mean that. It's just a joke. And then there will always be women that will choose to procreate with men like this and give men children, and then wonder why years down the line their child will have a substance abuse problem. They don't understand why the child is running away, why the child is having all this dysfunction, why the child is having all these behavioral issues in the home and at school. But these men literally will joke in front of other men, in front of their own wives, in front of their own girlfriends, saying stuff like this. This is why the joking culture between men is so strong, because it grooms you to ignore the obvious and not question what it is that they're saying, because it gets to be disguised as a joke. As long as you say that you're joking, you completely get to just, it's a justification. It's a worthy justification, no matter what it is what you're saying. No matter how disgusting, harmful, vile, violent, threatening of something that you're saying, you get to disguise it as a joke. And as long as laughter is involved, it's really not that serious. You're blowing it out of proportion. Dialogue like that, commentary like that, is the reason why I am committed to saying child free. Okay, because you're over here having a child or thinking that you want a child because you want to nurture, you want to care, you want to give life, you want to take care of something, you want to fulfill your purpose of, what it is that you feel is, important to humanity. And then could you imagine having a child with a man who, he's not looking forward to all that. He's over here using your body as an incubator for 9 months to see if he can get a hard-on from the child that you all have produced. I mean, the complete insult. And the fact that there are women out here who are still procreating with these men when they're making it very, very clear to you that this is what they're looking for. This is what they're longing for. They're literally hoping to have an arousal. And then these are the very same men who say, oh yeah, if I have a girl, I'm not changing diapers. Okay, why do you think they don't want to change diapers? And not even just if they have girls. Why do you think they don't want to change diapers for a child? That's why. They don't want to change diapers for a child because they don't want to be held accountable for their sexual arousal when they're changing the diaper of a literal infant, a literal newborn. Because then they have to sit here and feel disgust within themselves as to why the fuck am I why am I getting aroused by my own child? Absolutely disgusting. And the fact that they never went back to think twice to edit this lets you know how comfortable men are around other men, especially when they know that men are going to be in viewership of the content that they take in. Because this is a normal, everyday conversation that men are having. It's a regular Tuesday. Meanwhile, for the child or for the mother, this is trauma.